This is Greg Hellback here, and welcome to the REI Fast Track podcast, where I share with everybody what to do to be successful in real estate investing. And if you're not familiar with me, my name is Greg Hellback. I've been a full-time entrepreneur now, investing in real estate for almost 10 years. And everything on this podcast is real life, practical information. This is not regurgitated theory out of a book. So if you get value, if you could do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the video, and then if you're listening to an audio platform, share the show. That's how we keep getting more and more people listening to the podcast. So today's topic is going to be about hard money lending, and it's actually going to be the top 3 red flags or mistakes you should avoid if you're going to work with a hard money lender, because Lord knows there's a lot of them out there. And there are some charlatans. You got to make sure you do your due diligence. So if you're not familiar, a hard money lender is, it's basically a company that lends money to real estate entrepreneurs to flip or rent houses. They don't really care about your credit, even though they will look at it. They mainly look at the asset and the discount you're buying it at, because they're going to give you the loan based on a certain loan to value. So they want to lend at like 50 to 70 cents on the dollar minus repairs. I've done other videos on hard money, on how they make money and what it is and how to get it and all that stuff. But today's going to be the 3 red flags. So the first red flag with hard money is if the lender charges you upfront fees before you close, except for an appraisal. So if there's like a application fee you have to pay or an underwriting fee you have to pay before you close, you should run the other way, because that could be a scam, because all the lenders generally charge their fees at the closing except for an appraisal. Reason they might charge for the appraisal up front is because they're going to have to pay the appraiser and then you're going to have to pay them back. However, you got to make sure when you're dealing with a hard money lender, they're not making a margin on the appraisal. So, there's some lenders I've worked with that they've charged me more money than what the appraisal would cost, and then they kept the difference. In my opinion, that's shady. $100 won't make or break it, but I just think that's bad business anyway. Makes no sense to do that. So if they're charging you the appraisal fee, you want to call your lender up and say, dude, why are you charging me more money than what the appraisal actually costs? I'm not cool with that. Besides that appraisal, if they're charging you any upfront fees, tell them that doesn't make any sense, because the good lenders do not charge fees until you actually get to the closing table. So that's red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 is actually, as the customer, as the investor, if you don't shop around rates, you're making a giant mistake, because there are some lenders out there who will just rip you off. You'll be limping, completely limping at the closing table. So you want to shop your rate around and see what is the best rate you can get. And if you can get a lower rate, what are the terms? Are they giving you a 12-month loan? Are they giving you a 6-month loan? But they might have pretty good terms where they'll make you not come out of pocket that much. So I'm not against paying a high interest rate with hard money. I think it's totally cool if the terms that they offer besides the high rate are in your favor. So you got to be careful there. But at the end of the day, if you're borrowing hard money from a lender and you have experience and you know what you're doing, you should only be paying maximum out of pocket 10%, if not 100%. I have a hard money lender that will literally give me 100% of the purchase price minus closing costs. That's super valuable, but I got a lot of experience. And before that, I was getting 90% of the purchase price minus closing costs. If you have lenders trying to get you to come to the table with 20, 30% down and you have experience, you're getting hosed. Get a different lender. There's tons out there that will do 90%. Sometimes they'll even do 100%. In my opinion, you should have to come out of pocket as little as you possibly can. As the time of this recording, hard money rates are anywhere between 10, 12%. So if someone's charging you 15, you're getting scammed. If someone's charging you 8, that's really good. So you should be paying anywhere between 10 and 12% hard money. And then the last thing here I would tell you with hard money, in terms of the third mistake you can make, is using a broker. What is a broker? A broker is someone who's not a decision maker. They're just shuffling paper and they're telling you they're giving you the loan, but they're really having somebody else give the loan out. So you want to work with a direct lender. I'm going to say that again. You want to work with a direct lender, which is a company that's actually going to fund your deal. And the company is going to use a warehouse line or their own funds to actually close that loan for you, versus going through a broker who's telling you one thing and then he's really got to talk to the decision maker who's the one giving you the money. And then sometimes these brokers will misrepresent themselves. They'll say one thing and then their actual person there who's going to fund the deals is changing their mind. So avoid working with brokers. Work with a direct lender, someone who's going to give you that loan on the day of closing. I've had bad experiences dealing with brokers where they're stringing either me along or someone I'm wholesaling the deal to along. And man, we've had battles on the phone with these bad hard money lenders. So those are the 3 mistakes you can make if you're getting hard money. I'll recap them one more time. Number 1, the lender's charging upfront fees besides an appraisal. Run the other way. Number 2 is if you're not shopping the rate, you're making a mistake. Get 3 or 4 different quotes and then make the best decision at that point. And then the third lesson is avoid using a broker, someone who's not giving you the money the day of closing. That can cause all types of chaos. So if you do those, you'll be successful. And if you got value from this podcast or any podcast I put out, do me a favor, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, And if you're listening on audio, do me a favor and share this around with everybody who you think will get value from this. Put it on social media. It would really mean a lot to me. I see every time you guys repost on social media. It's fantastic. And last but not least, if you're local to Seattle, Reno, San Diego, Hudson Valley, or Delaware, and you have a deal you want to wholesale to me, I am a buyer. Or if you want to wholesale it with me, we can always wholesale it together. Send me an email, greg@velocityhousebuyers.com, or an Instagram message @grego37, and I'll see you on the next REI weekly lesson.